This is the GQ Coaches Show with coaches Goins and Quick, brought to you by the United States Basketball Association, the leader in youth basketball, USBAHoops.com. Now, get ready to chop it up with your hosts, Coaches G and Q, for the real talk in sports.
All right, it's Monday night, and you know what time it is. It's Coach Goins along with Coach Quick. You know what? It is, man, what a great day to be talking about sports. It's the NFL playoffs is going on. Now we know who's going to the Super Bowl. We've got dynamic stuff to talk about this week. Coach Quick, man, what's going on in your world?
Hey, what's going on, Coach G? You want to know what's going on with Coach Q? Well, man, Coach Q is so excited about our very special guest tonight. I feel like I'm posted up inside Lincoln Financial Field at the 50-yard line, waiting to have a great conversation with a former Philadelphia Eagle. So after this short break, Coach G and I are going to come right back, and we're going to be chopping it up with a Philadelphia Eagle legend. So make sure those cleats are laced up tight.
You're listening to Coaches G and Q chopping it up.
All right, Coach Goins and Coach Quick are back in. Coach Quick, I know we got somebody fantastic and got some football experience, so what's popping?
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to some and present to others. He is a former Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs football player. He is also a former member of the Grey Cup champions of the Toronto Argonauts. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GQ Coaches Show. And put those hands together for Coach Akeem Jordan.
Thank you, Coach Quick and Coach Goins, for having me on this show. How are y'all doing?
Oh, man, Coach, man, we're certainly excited. I know it's NFL playoffs and everybody is on the gridiron, but we're so excited to have a legend. When we say legend, a legend, you know what? Because he started Harrisonburg High School, he starred and won a national championship at James Madison University, and he played at the Pinnacle, right? And everybody says, what, man? Yes, we have none other than Akeem Jordan. That is right, that played in the National Football League and played for the Philadelphia Eagles along with the Kansas City Chiefs, and if I'm not mistaken, finished up with the Washington Redskins. So we're excited to have you on, Coach. Coach Quick, I'll kick it over to you for your opening question.
Yes, sir. Akeem, man, it's a pleasure to have you on. My first question for you is, could you tell our listening audience who Akeem Jordan is?
Well, I'm a kid that came out of Harrisonburg. Played football. Didn't really like it at first, but I played. Won the championship, the state championship in high school. Then further my career at James Madison, where we won the national championship. Then got an opportunity to play for the Philadelphia Eagles from free agency. Made the team there. Played with some great people like Brian Dawkins and Jeremiah Trotter, and that's just to name a few. There's been a lot of great people that I played with, a lot of mentors that I played with there that kept me going in the game. Made me realize that it was more than just a game.
Absolutely. Man, what an honor and a privilege it is. First and foremost, you won at the high school level as a state champion, went on to James Madison, had a great career, won the national championship over Montana, 31-21 in 2004. Man, congratulations on an outstanding body of work so far. And, man, we're just looking to have fun and chop it up here with you. It's getting ready to be a pleasure.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on here with y'all guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Coach Quick, man, I just moved into the area. That was about almost 18 years ago. JMU, and I live in Augusta County, and Rockingham County is just a county north of me. And then all of a sudden, the buzz was going on, man, JMU, and next thing I know, they win the national championship, and then they go on, and all of a sudden I start hearing about this guy, and I was like, man, this guy really must be a baller, right? And so now here we are, right? Fast forward it, and here we have the honor and privilege of having Coach Jordan on the show. So, Coach, as you were talking about, you didn't like the game of football when you first started. Now, when you first started, what side of the ball were you on?
I started when I was little, so we played both sides. So I've been playing both sides of the ball for probably the beginning of my career, I played both all the way through high school. Then when I went to college, my coach told me to pick a side, like what side in the recruiting field of what side I wanted to play. And I didn't like being a nail, so I said I want to play defense so I could be the hammer.
And so I can relate to that because actually Coach Quick played for me 28 years ago. When I used to coach high school football, he was on our starting center, also defensive line. And I coached the D line, but yeah, I had to be able to put my hands on somebody. I couldn't be that offensive guy on that side. But in that, so as you made that transition, when did you realize, like, you know what, man, I can play this game and I'm good at it? When did you realize that?
So the game has been so fun for me that, and just the competition that I didn't really look at it like that. I was so much about winning, right, and being selfless as a player that I wasn't like focused on like if I'm playing. I was just like, don't let your fellow teammates down, you know. And I had so much fun doing it. So when I started getting all this notoriety, I was like, oh, okay, like. Did we win? Like, that's me. Did we win? Like, because that means nothing to me if we didn't win. And I didn't really notice until maybe my senior year. We had a couple of other guys that was getting scouted by the NFL, and you know my name was left out of that pool. And I talked to one of my mentors, and he just told me, "Hey, listen, the scouts got eyes, so keep doing what you're doing," you know. And I was like, "Okay, like." I'm going to keep doing, you know, playing, having fun. That's the main part. And that's the part that I preach to these kids today is just to have fun. And when you're having fun, you know, it's endless. The sky's the limit, you know. And that's why I didn't really know that, you know, I was doing all this. I was just worried about winning, not my contribution as much. Even though I was contributing, I was just worried about winning and what it took to win. And what it took to win was me contributing. So I just had fun, kept coming day in and day out, and just working hard, working. And when I looked up, it was my senior year in college, right? And I had went to a Redskins training camp. And when I went there, I seen them playing, and I was like, oh, man, like, if I get the opportunity, I know I can do this, you know. I just need an opportunity,
Wow.
And the opportunity came a year later. Went up there to Philly, and just, first it was just so much nerve. My role model was guy I looked up to playing. Didn't know him yet, but playing was Brian Dawkins, right? I played safety in high school. I moved to linebacker in college. So I was trying to model my game after Brian Dawkins, and it was just a blessing to be in the same building, getting to meet this guy, you know. And that's like the lack of words right there, because when I met him, I was just like, wow, like, you know, like first time ever being like starstruck. Right, and it didn't hit me until like we was on the field together.
Wow!
Like one time in practice, like you know, you see him and you're like, oh, I gotta worry about this play. We watching film, so it's not like I'm like staring at the guy, right? But we was at practice one day, and I was starting. I just started, just got into the starting lineup, and he rolled down to like a cover 3. And when he rolls down, he has to, communicate with me. And when he communicated with me, I'm just, that's when it hit me. Like, he's really talking to me. Like, this is a guy, like, since I was little, playing in high school, modeling my game after him. He's communicating with me. But they did a great job, because I think it was first or second year, of just mentoring me, of giving me the ins and outs of the game. After practice, after meetings, like I know Jeremiah Trotter pulled me in. It was like, hey, you good. He could see that I was good then, but he was like, hey, listen, you got to stop making the same mistakes. And we don't have like enough time to talk to like the 3s and the 4s, right, in meetings, because we have to get the 1s and 2s right. So in meeting times, it's not enough time in the day to get everyone straight, everyone good, right? Everyone up to par.
Yes, sir.
And he pulled me to the side, and we watched film probably every night after meetings. And this is like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. All right? And he used to be like, the first time, like, Coach said, the meeting's over. I'm tired. We've been up since 6:30. And I'm like, I got to go back to sleep because we got to get up at 6:30 again. And he pulls me into, he's like, hey, bro, like, where you going? I'm like, I'm going to sleep. Like, I'm tired. Like, meeting's over. He was like, because the coach says the meeting's over doesn't mean the meeting's over for you. Like, have a seat. We're going to go through this together. And he really pulled me under his wing. And, I'm grateful for that because I was young, 21. Only thing I was thinking about sleeping, getting up and performing the next day. But he was like the one like, hey, listen, you can't keep making these mistakes. This is how professionals do it. Like, after the lights are off, after no one's watching, you keep going. And that right there stuck with me my whole career.
Coach Jordan has absolutely nailed it in our very first segment. And you know what? We're certainly so excited to have him on as we wrap up the Set the Table segment, which is brought to you by United States Basketball Association, the leader in youth basketball tournaments and sports. We're going to step away, hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Pete Chilcutt, North Carolina Tar Heel and NBA champion. You're listening to the GQ Coaches Show on ESPN Radio 1240, The Boss.
The United States Basketball Association, the USBA, was founded in 2005. The USBA has been a leader in grassroots basketball tournaments and camps for boys and girls of all ages across the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. It is our goal to develop young people and equip them with skills that will help them advance both on and off the court. Visit their website at usbahoops.com. Their email is info@usbahoops.com or by telephone at 704-649-6812. All basketball, all the time. And thank you for playing USBA.
Looking for something fun but different to do? Join a group of friends, family, or co-workers to destroy electronics, break some glass, or even throw some axes. At the Havoc House located downtown Waynesboro, Virginia, visit their website at havochouseva.com and book your appointment today.
There's a lot of reasons why people trust Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage. They have a diverse lineup of loan programs. So whether you're looking to buy a home, refinance, or tackle college expenses with your equity, you can put Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage in the game for you. Call 540-290-0558 or go online to alcova.com/C Montgomery.
Hey, this is Chris Spatola, and you're listening to the GQ Coaches Show on ESPN Radio 1240, The Boss, the real talk in sports.
All right, this is Coach Goins along with Coach Quick and our very special guest via telephone, Mr. Akeem Jordan. That is exactly right. So if you know football, you know he's been on the gridiron for the Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs, and also the Washington Redskins, and he's now coaching high school football in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Coach Quick, I see you in the back of the end zone, brother.
Absolutely. King, what is the 3 reasons you like being a part of a team sport?
All right, 3 reasons that I like being part of a team sport.
Yes, sir.
It is, 1, just the male camaraderie that's there, the teamwork, the looking out for each other. Like, not only a team on the field, you're a team off the field. And I say this because it's more that happens off the field than it does on. And because you have that bond on the field, you can take it off. That's 1. 2, it's just fun. The atmosphere is fun. It's stress-free. It's a stress-free atmosphere. You just go out there, you play, you're having fun, you're working for the brother next to you. Or if you're on a team, I just love teams all together regardless of male or female. It's just fun helping someone achieve what they can, their full potential. And to me, that's a great teammate. And 3, the winning and the losing, right, is how you deal with the winning and the losing as a team. Is either you're gonna bounce back and work harder if you lose. If you win, it's how can we keep winning? And it's that kept me going. Like, oh, this is a team. And I played on some teams that didn't seem like a team. It was a lot of individuals. So I can't say every team that I played on felt like a team. But the teams that I played on that felt like a team, it was like nothing can divide us. And we just was working, especially in our championship years. I won 3 championships, state championship, national championship, and then when I went to the CFL, after my NFL career was over, we won a championship, the Grey Cup in Canada. And those teams, I could think about those teams is that we was one. We was together. And we knew that we was going to win. And that was the difference. We didn't believe it. We knew we was going to win. And we knew we was going to win because of our preparation throughout the week.
Absolutely, yes, sir. And as someone who has played the same sport that you have, not at the highest level that you have, but man, there's no greater feeling than being a part of a team and being amongst your brothers. And as you said, to me, the wins and losses, they build character along the way. It's just about how you handle it.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Coach Goins, I see you at the goal line. I'm about ready to hand this ball off to you. Take it on in. You know what to do with it.
Man, I ain't never ran the football. You think I can do that at 56 years old? You think they'll get you? You think I get? You think I can get a? Can I get a? Matter of fact, maybe they needed me back when the Seahawks was playing the Patriots instead of throwing them. All right, let me get back into this thing. Sorry about that. I just had to go there. Thanks, Coach Quick, for recognizing me and giving me that opportunity to run the ball. But no, here's the thing that I really want to touch on as Coach Jordan laid that thing out. He has won at every level, Coach Quick. He's won at high school, won at college, and he's also won in the CFL. Can't apologize for not dropping that in the beginning. But what a huge honor to win the Grey Cup, right? When I hear that, first person I think about when anybody mentions the CFL, I always think of Warren Moon and how great he was and the things that he got done across the border. So let me ask you this question here. Out of the teams that you played for, and this is kind of crazy, but I got to go here. Who in the NFL, who had the fattest locker room?
You said the fattest?
Yeah, and just like you walk in and it was like plush, your locker, you like, because now when you think about it, now just with Coach Prime being out in Colorado and all of the things and the money, it's all about the bling. It's all about, man, you walk in the locker room and you're like blown away. So when you walk in the NFL locker room, what makes it go like, man, this is all right?
Okay, so in my 3 teams that I played, I'm trying to remember. Maybe I'll have to go with Philly. And the reason being is like you had a locker room, but then you had, like a chill room, right? So the locker room was pretty normal. Everyone had, their own lockers. Pretty big. I was used to like kind of small coming from JMU. It was a smaller school at the time. They obviously built up and it looks fantastic. JMU's locker room looks fantastic now, but we came from a small locker room, so just getting into a big locker room and seeing that was amazing to me. And then having our lounge room, which we just call like the chill room, where I had like TVs, pool tables, and games, computers, like just there, like on their downtime. And we don't get to much downtime in the NFL. But when you do, that's where everyone just gravitated towards, and just the fun and just the jokes and all that was happening in the lounge room or the chill room was phenomenal. I mean, you had the latest everything in there, right? And
I can only imagine, Coach Quick, to walk in there, and you walk in, you got your sweats on, you got your top and saying Philadelphia Eagles or whatever. Walk in and you hear the balls popping over there, and somebody eating a sandwich. And I get that, Coach Jordan. I appreciate you allowing us inside the Philadelphia Eagles locker room, and again, just to be able to have that experience and to play at that level. It means the world to us to be able to have you on the show, and as we continue to chop it up. So, Coach Quick, man, since you let me run that thing at the goal line, I know you scored a 2-point conversion back in your day. I never had that honor and privilege to do that, so I'll kick it to you, Coach.
Yes, sir. Hey, Jordan, Akeem, I gotta ask this question. What is the best part? Could you tell our listening audience about competing at the highest level and competing in sports, period?
It's funny because I always wanted to compete at the highest level, and that used to be in my prayers, right? Coming from a small school in Virginia, and then actually making it to the highest level where you're competing against the best of the best. And it's amazing, right? Because it's more than just talent then when you get there. It's more than just how fast you run. You got to study. You got to study your opponent. You got to know your opponent's best move. You got to know your opponent's weakness. This is all the things that come with, playing at the highest level, because everyone has a weakness. It's just about exploiting that weakness. And when you're playing at the highest level, it's not, you don't just go out there and just play. It's not like, I'm going to use my talent just to get by. If you go out there and you try to do that, you're not going to last long. NFL, they used to say, not for long. If you do that part, it's not for long. And that's one of the things that Jeremiah Trotter taught me when I was a rookie. Was, hey, you talented, but that's not enough. You can play, but that's not enough, because everyone is good. And being on the field where everyone is the best at what they do is amazing. Like, you don't think about it when you're playing because you're just trying to win. But when you sit back in hindsight and you see, like, oh, this person did this, this person accomplished this person, at the time, Reggie Bush was killing it in college. And then, you watch them on TV, and then next thing you know, you're on the field with them, right? So it was like, hey, like, this is the best out of the best. You got all the Heisman players out there. You got everyone that's good. Anything, all the escalades that they made, they're there on the field. And it's like, you got to playing your best may not be enough. And that is the top of the top. You can play the best game ever, and it's just not good enough to win. Wow. And being in that atmosphere is amazing. That's like a competitor's dream. Like, I'll go out there and give my all. I'm dog tired after the game, and either win or lose, you're still dog tired. Because you had to exert that much energy to win, or so it's just amazing to play at the top.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, who we have on, Mr. Akeem Jordan. He is a former Philadelphia Eagle. He was a national champion with the James Madison Dukes, and he also won the Grey Cup in the Canadian Football League. As we close out our game plan segment, it is brought to you by Chris Montgomery of Alcova Mortgage. When it's time to get in the game, call Chris at 540-290-0558, and we'll be right back.
There's a lot of reasons why people trust Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage. They have a diverse lineup of loan programs, so whether you're looking to buy a home, refinance, or tackle college expenses with your equity, you can put Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage in the game for you. Call 540-290-0558 or go online to alcova.com/C Montgomery.
Looking for something fun but different to do? Join a group of friends, family, or co-workers to destroy electronics, break some glass, or even throw some axes. At the Havoc House located downtown Waynesboro, Virginia, Visit their website at habithouseva.com and book your appointment today.
The United States Basketball Association, the USBA, was founded in 2005. The USBA has been a leader in grassroots basketball tournaments and camps for boys and girls of all ages across the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. It is our goal to develop young people and equip them with skills that will help them advance both on and off the court. Visit their website at usbahoops.com. Their email is info@usbahoops.com or by telephone at 704-649-6812. All basketball, all the time. And thank you for playing USBA.
Hey, this is Coach Mike Apple, head men's basketball coach and athletic director of Sand Hills Community College, and you're listening to the GQ Coaches Show, the real talk in sports on ESPN Radio 1240, The Boss.
Hey, this is Coach Goins along with Coach Quick, and that is exactly right. Somebody says, am I hearing that correctly? That's right. Via telephone, we have NFL legend, Mr. Akeem Jordan, and just like you said, he's played in the NFL. And let me go ahead and drop this down. Okay, Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs, as well as the Washington Redskins won a Grey Cup when he was across the border in Canada, okay? And he won a national championship when he was at James Madison University and also a high school championship. So think about that, Coach Quick, man. If you were playing darts and you stood there and you had 3 dart boards, and every time you threw the dart in high school, it hit the bullseye. And then somebody went to college and said, okay, I want you to step back 4 steps. And then you step back 4 steps, and then you nailed it again and then hit the bullseye, and you won a national championship. Then somebody says, all right, we're going to take a huge step back, and now you played in the NFL. And then after you jumped them hurdles, now you ended up winning the championship at the Grey Cup. And that's a remarkable body of work. For Mr. Jordan, our very special guest tonight, and we just want to make sure everybody understands what that means to be able to play at pinnacles in the sport. So here's where I want to go. When you get ready to get in game prep mode, Coach Jordan, walk us through that process. Do you walk in? First of all, my question is, I'll ask this first question. What music do you like listening to? And then walk us through. Are you a left sock guy? Do you put your right sock on first? Walk our listening audience through the mindset on game day for Akeem Jordan.
All right, so game day, I come in. I'm probably one of the first into the locker room, and I'm just getting the feel of the atmosphere, trying to calm my nerves down. So at first, I listen to gospel, to calm me down, mellow me out before the game. So while we're getting ready, it's when I'm putting on my stuff, no real superstition of like lucky shirt or anything like that, but just with the music, I had to mellow myself out because I don't want to play the game and I don't want to be so hyped before the game that when I come out on flat. So I mellow myself out. Giving praise to God for getting me in this position, giving me this opportunity. And then after I put on the equipment, it's all crunk music from there, and it's getting the nerves up. We about to go out there. So it could be, it varies. It could be from rock and roll to rap. Like, it doesn't matter. Whatever is on there and it's, getting me hyped. Most times it's one of the newer songs or a team song. I know that we had a team song back in the day, and it was just everyone would get hyped, and then it's not like it was a difference between the NFL and college, because college it was like no one had their headphones on, nobody's in their own in their world, and when you get to the NFL, everyone's in their little world. And getting ready. And then it becomes a time where everyone just comes together, takes off their headphones, then we all getting hyped. And I remember in Kansas City, we had this little, I'm not going to say it on air though, but we had this little chant that we said before every game. And yeah, And we had a chant, and we said before every game, and everyone get hyped. I mean, you could just feel the atmosphere change like a switch, right? Everyone just took off their headphones, gathered together, and we all said it, right? We all was in there. We all was together, screaming, like, like at the top of our lungs, right? And then after that, it was game on. Everybody was focused. Everybody out there. We ready to go out. Like, no one could stop us from going out. I remember one time we did it too early, so we just waited at the end of the tunnel. Like, we ready. Like, we don't want to be in the locker room no more. We want to be on the field. We want to be out there now, right now. So that was, like, one of the rituals that we did with me is I listened to music so I wouldn't play the game before the game started. I didn't want to get too high. Because once the game, probably like 15 minutes before the game, before we go out, that's when you start getting ready. That's when you start getting ready to play the game. Because you don't want to think about, mentally, you don't want to think about the game before the game starts. You want to remember the game plan, but you don't want to play the game. And just, that was my routine. Mellow out first, and then crank it up. And then after you crank it up, it wasn't no coming down until after the game.
Wow.
So it was a very intense. It's very intense. Even when you're walking into the locker room, it's intense. Once you start to see your other teammates come in and you see their vibes, and everyone's different. You got, in the locker room, you had about 60 personalities coming in. So it was just, it's fun to see how the energy starts to build as more people come in, and how the atmosphere change. Then when the whole team gets in there, it's just totally different.
Wow.
Everyone's ready, focused, and ready to go.
Man, now you know what, Coach Quick. I can only imagine myself. I'd come through that. I guess I think I'd be a guy to come in and I'd be sharp every day, right?
Yes,
game day, I come in, I'd be razor sharp. They'd be like, man, look at Goins coming in here, man. I'd be like blazer popping, man, and get in there and sit down and have my headphones on. But no, Coach Jordan, we appreciate you allowing us to step inside your mind, step inside those NFL locker rooms. Coach Quick, what you got?
Yes, sir. Coach Jordan, wins and losses are a big part of the game. What emotions do you feel? Your raw emotions when you play well, and then your raw emotions when you play bad. And as a follow-up question, who do you wish was watching you perform at every game?
Okay. Well, playing good and playing bad is how we say it up there is, you may feel like you play good, but then you watch that film, right? Or you may feel like you never play as bad as you think you did. You never play as good as you think you did. So after a game, for me, after a game is about the win or the loss. So if we lose, it's what could have I done to help the team win? Like, that's what I'm focused on. And if we win, you enjoy the win, but then you go back to the drawing board. How can we keep winning? So it's always consistent. Like, you don't enjoy it. That's like when you win a championship, it really doesn't hit you until the next week or the week after or a month later. It's when, we're not grinding so hard. Because there's a difference. There's a regular season, and then there's a postseason. And in the postseason, that focus is right on point. And once you focus in that tight, like, you don't even realize. Like, my second year, I think we made it to the NFC Championship, and it took a while to even realize how big that game was. Like, it's the next game to the Super Bowl, but how focused you are on just winning is the next game. So if I'm speaking for self, though, but it's the next game. So the next game is the most important game. So every game that I play, the next game is the most important game. So So when you go to the postseason, it's just the next game. It's the next game. So you don't want to try to do too much because it's the NFC Championship that you lose focus of team. But it's the next game. And like when we won those championships, or I won those championships, when I say we, I'm talking about the team I was on. When we won those championships, it didn't hit us for a while, like that we won the championship. I mean, after the game, we were celebrating, and, you're screaming, but it really doesn't hit you until 2 weeks, a month later, when it's like, yo, we actually won the championship. Like, we actually are the best this year, and it's amazing how late it hits you. Like, you go through the parade, and that's when it starts hitting you. Like, people out here, that's when it starts hitting you, like the parade and stuff, and all the stuff that comes with it, the papers, the press, like that's when it starts hitting you. But in the player's mind, you were just worried about the next game, and after that last game, you're worried about next season. So it's like until you get all of that parade and all that stuff, that's when it hits you that you accomplished what you started off at the beginning of the season.
Yes, sir. And as I said earlier, wins and losses sometimes they help you build character, and it's how you handle those adversities in those situations, and how you handle the ups and how you handle the downs is how you build that character. And man, it sounds like you knew how to handle it all. And you had everything in place. So I just appreciate your body of work. Coach G, I'll kick it over to you.
Well, you know what? We're going to step away, but before we do, we just want to thank our segment sponsor, and that's the Havoc House of Waynesboro, Virginia. Make your appointment today at 540-447-1362. And also, we have on our very special guest, Coach Akeem Jordan, along with Coach Quick. We'll step away.
This is Matt Doherty, and you're listening to the GQ Coaches Show, the real talk in sport on ESPN Radio, 1240, The Boss.
The United States Basketball Association, the USBA, was founded in 2005. The USBA has been a leader in grassroots basketball tournaments and camps for boys and girls of all ages across the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. It is our goal to develop young people and equip them with skills that will help them advance both on and off the court. Visit their website at usbahoops.com. Their email is info@usbahoops.com or by telephone at 704-649-6812. All basketball, all the time. And thank you for playing USBA. There's a lot of reasons why people trust Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage. They have a diverse lineup of loan programs. So whether you're looking to buy a home, refinance, or tackle college expenses with your equity, you can put Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage in the game for you. Call 540-290-0558 or go online to alcova.com/C Montgomery.
Looking for something fun but different to do? Join a group of friends, family, or co-workers to destroy electronics, break some glass, or even throw some axes. At the Havoc House located downtown Waynesboro, Virginia, visit their website at havochouseva.com and book your appointment today.
Hey, this is Coach Mike Apple, head men's basketball coach and athletic director of Sand Hills Community College, and you're listening to the GQ Coaches Show, the real talk in sports on ESPN Radio 1240.
All right, we're back in, so we hoping that you are enjoying. I know Coach Quick and I are sitting here. We're having an out of body. The only thing I look, and I went down through the list, I just wish I would have seen one team on there like the Pittsburgh Steelers, but that's okay. We'll move on from there. But as we move into our Real Talk segment, it's brought to you by the United States Basketball Association. Visit their website at usbahoops.com, the leader in youth basketball tournaments and camps. And our very special guest, Coach Akeem Jordan. And again, he's won the Grey Cup when he's in Canada, won a national championship when he was at JMU, won a state championship when he was at his alma mater in Harrisonburg High School, and he's played for 3 teams in the NFL. So here's what I want to go, Coach Jordan. Playing for the Eagles, playing for Kansas City, who were you pulling for this past weekend?
I'm always going to go with Philly and the Chiefs. And one's in the AFC and one is in the NFC. So I don't have to be neutral until the Super Bowl. If they both make it to the Super Bowl, that's when I become neutral. But I pull for, those teams. I got history with those teams. And not only that, like if I see a coach that I used to play with or a coach that used to coach me, I'll pull for them. I root for the people I know, regardless of, who they're playing or what. I just hope that they do well.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just, I was just going to say that's outstanding. That speaks volumes to who you are. And again, it's all about the relationships. And I get that, but and it's just, when you stop and you look, and both of those franchises have done an outstanding job over the last several years. And just, I know you're excited, just being able to say that, I've been in those locker rooms, I've been in those stadiums, I've played for those organizations, and I understand totally how you wish them continued success. And again, it's also from the coaching ranks. Coach Quick, what you got?
Yes, sir. Coach Jordan, in my opinion, you've played for the best coach that's in football today in Andy Reid. I'd just like to ask you, describe your feelings and your emotions playing for Coach Reid.
Oh, man, he's an amazing coach. Not only a coach, he's an amazing person, human being. All right? He's not, I played for him. I played 8 years. I played 7 of those 8 with him. And when I say he's an amazing human being, is that it's not always football talk.
Yes, sir.
Especially coming in for the young ones and me throughout my career. He just pulled me to the side, and he'll give me some words of advice that has nothing to do with football, right? And the first time you hear it, it's like, man, am I messing up? What's going, it's a shock because we're not talking about, but that's just, who he is. He's a great human being. So if he feels like he has some advice to give you, to share with you, he will say it. It's not always football. And with that being said, that speaks volumes on, of who he is. Like, he cares about you as a person, as a human being, not just a football player or a pawn in the game. He actually cares about your person. And I think that's what made him so great as he is now. And I know right now those guys out there playing for him right now really trust and believe in him. Because when I play for him, just giving you advice off the field, pulling you to the side, it wasn't every day, right? It would just be like, hey, to me, he'll be like, Akeem, save your money. This is, what's going on. This is what's going on. You never know what, and just little advice like that all the way through my career, off the field advice. If you had anything that was bothering you, you could go to him as a mentor, and ask and talk about outside of football, because he does care. It's not like, oh, that's not football talk, I don't want to hear about it, or I don't have time to hear about it. He actually sits down and listens and gives you advice, good advice. He's been through it. He's coached a lot, seen a lot, done a lot. He's a great mentor. So playing for him was a no-brainer. Just keep playing for him. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And just sitting here listening to you run that down, man, that's what I would want in a football coach. Somebody who cares, not just about how I play the game, but they care about my life. As I sit here and listen to you say, he told you to save your money. Man, that's big. That's absolutely huge right there, to have a coach that will sit you down and talk to you about life lessons. And man, that's very important. And it takes me back to my high school days, 28 years, my relationship with Coach Goins. You know, I seen that he cared about Mike Quick, the person, not just Mike Quick, the defensive tackle. And I feel like you feel that way about Coach Reed. And man, that to me, that's outstanding. And it goes back to one of our former guests who made a quote on our show, "Can I trust you?" And I felt like, hey, you could trust Andy Reid.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Coach G, I'll kick it over to you.
All right, man. So listen, since we talk about that, I want to hit Coach Jordan up with this question. What is your favorite movie as it relates to sports?
Favorite movie? I'll have to go with Remember the Titans.
Oh man, why did I think he was gonna go there, Coach Quick?
Yeah, hey, Denzel Washington, number one.
Yeah.
All right, so Coach, let me ask you. So what's special about that movie for you?
It's a lot of things, but just the point of how he got that team in that time to come together to realize that they're on a team and they're all brothers. That was big at that time. With the segregation and all the stuff that was going on, I guess, around that time, and how you get a team to only focus in on the locker room and not what's outside, and not letting the outside interfere with what the team goal is. And watching that film, I can attest to the struggles as when I was growing up about, being called outside my name, derogatory words, and just to know that it was in the locker room, and then how he changed that, and how they went out and performed and became brothers through football. Like, without football, those guys would have never been as close as they was if they was just going to school together, or they would have never been as close as they was if they never shared that sport together, or been on that same team. And like I said, I like them. Love the movie. I love the movie. For that reason, especially. Also, the way that Denzel in that movie portrayed that he acted with class act, even with the other coaches that was calling him outside his name, was calling him bad words, and how he acted with class. That speaks a lot, because it's not about who they are and how they act. It's about who you are and who you want to be, right? So you can't let the outside interfere with your inner self.
You know what? That is so eloquently put. Coach Quick, man, there's no question, and we're so excited that to have Coach Jordan on the show tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do, step away, hear from our sponsors, but we're right in the middle of our Real Talk segment with our very special guest, Coach Akeem Jordan.
Looking for something fun but different to do? Join a group of friends, family, or coworkers to destroy electronics, break some glass, or even throw some axes. At the Havoc House located downtown Waynesboro, Virginia, visit their website at havochouseva.com and book your appointment today.
This is Bobby Collins, the head men's basketball coach at D. Shaw University. And you're listening to the GQ Coaching Show, the real talk in sports on ESPN 1240, The Boss.
Hey, this is Kenny Anderson, 5th men's basketball coach, and you're listening to GQ Coaches Show, the real talk in sports on ESPN Radio 1240, The Boss.
All right, we're back in, and we are in the middle of our Real Talk segment. And if anybody's ever listened to the show, you know what I always say. It's my favorite time because we talk real talk when it comes down to it. So, Coach Quick, I'm going to kick it over to you for your question.
Yes, sir. Coach Jordan, I'd just like for you to talk about your role at Harrisonburg High School and your kids at Harrisonburg, the life lessons that you're teaching and coaching them.
My role is running backs coach, linebackers coach, and coach with the special teams. And what I preach to these kids is that no matter what, you gotta keep grinding, right? If you have a goal in mind, you have a dream in mind, don't let anyone tell you that you can't achieve what you see that you can see yourself doing. And you might have some obstacles during the way, but if you keep grinding, you're going to jump over those obstacles. You're going to go around those obstacles. You're going to knock those obstacles down. And that's why I try to preach to them. Like, I didn't have an easy path to where, I went. It wasn't easy. But I kept grinding, kept working, kept believing, had faith. And once you keep doing that, there's nothing that can stop you but you. And I tell them all the time, you can be whatever you want. They actually had one of the best places in life is the start. And you have to start, no matter, you can start anywhere in life, but as being a young adult, you at the start of your life. And if you know where your finish line wants to be, you know what you want to happen on your finish line, you always start down and then don't deviate from the path, even if the path has obstacles. Like, I've been told I was too slow. I've been told I was too short. I've been told a lot of things that I couldn't do, but I still made it to where I believed that I could play. And with that being said, this is what I am teaching them. Like, a lot of people's going to tell you from the outside that you can't do something, that you're not big enough, you're not strong enough, you're not this. And I tell them I wasn't the strongest, I wasn't the fastest, and I wasn't the most gifted, but I was there. It's only one person that can have that title, but it's not only one person that's playing in a team sport.
Wow.
So with that being said, is that you got to keep grinding. Like, if Spud Webb they would have told him he was too short, he would have never made it to where he was at. And it's like those things that get stuck in the youth's mind about someone outside telling them what they can do and what they can't do. I'm trying to tell them, you got to block that. You got to block it. You got to cut off all that negativity and focus on your goal. Because you're gonna have people telling you you're not good enough. You're gonna have people telling you that you're not fast enough, or you're not big enough, or whatever, to make it to the next level, to the college level, collegiate level. But if you keep grinding, someone's gonna see you. It's gonna work for your good. You just gotta keep grinding. You gotta keep grinding.
Absolutely. Outstanding. Coach G, I'll kick it over to you.
Well, you know what? What can I say but thank you to Coach Jordan. And as we start to wind this up, number one, folks, what I want people to realize is he's taking time away to be on the show. It's folks like Coach Jordan that gives back to the students of Harrisonburg High School, the role model. Think about that, Coach Quick, man. If you're on the team and you go to practice every day, and you're out there and the coaches are blowing the whistle and da-da-da-da-da, but when you walk out on a high school football field and one of your coaches has played at every level in the game and is a champion at every level in the game, if you can't dial that in, brother, you know what? I'm gonna have to maybe give you another number that you can call, and y'all can talk about that on the side. But the point I'm making, I'm challenging all of the young folks that have coaches that maybe have not played at that level, but they're investing their time. But when you have a coach that has played at the levels that Coach Jordan has played, man, what an experience! I couldn't imagine, right? Is walking out on the practice field and getting ready to, and you sit at this, you're in the huddle or you gathered around and you're at his feet. And he's telling you everything that you need to know in order to be prepared, in order to play. So, just hats off to you, Coach Jordan. We just a thousandfold blessing to you and yours as you continue to move forward. So with that, Coach Quick, I'll kick it over to you for your closing comments.
Yes, Coach Jordan, I'd just like to say thank you for accepting the invitation to come on our show today. It's been an absolute pleasure to sit here and chop it up with you, not only about football, but about life, skills, and success. We just appreciate you, and we wish you the best in your future endeavors. God bless you. May heaven smile upon you and your family.
Thanks again.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me and inviting me. And the same. Be blessed.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Coach Jordan. I tell you what, Coach Quick, man, what a treat that was to have on, this time of year to have NFL. I think he played in the NFL for over 8 years.
Yes, sir.
And great question, man. He played for Andy Reid. And just when you win in all think about that, man. You're from Harrisonburg, Virginia, which is, not the, you're not in the metropolis, but you win a high school championship. You win a college national championship. Did not win a Super Bowl, but however, when he finished in NFL, he went to Canada and he won the Grey Cup, which is equivalent to the Super Bowl if you follow Canadian football. But just my thing, what I liked about it is just how those guys would take. They say, "Come here, rookie. The meeting's over with, but you're gonna come over here and you're gonna spend some extra time talking about and working on your craft." What's your take on that, Coach?
Well, you know what, Coach G, that's what it's about, man. It's all about getting key vets. Whenever you're a young rookie coming in, you got to have those guys who are going to take up that time and show you what it's like and show you how to be a pro. And that's what Jeremiah Trotter, Brian Dawkins, those guys did for Coach Jordan, and Coach Jordan just appreciated that. It taught him how to be a man. It taught him responsibility and how to stand up and continue to grind and stay on the grind and get his work ethic intact. And I know he appreciates Jeremiah Trotter and Brian Dawkins and those guys teaching him the ropes. He had great vets, so that's a great thing.
And also, call out is don't let the naysayers, people say, "Oh, you're not big enough, you're not this," but they told him all that, but yet he survived 8 years in that league, man. And then again, like you said, Coach, playing for Coach Reid is a huge deal, and then being able to play with him. Think about it, for 8 years that was his coach.
Yes, sir.
It's very hard to say, well, I've been on 3 teams, but for 8 years, Andy Reid was your coach, and what a tremendous, tremendous thing. So listen, we got a little more time. So what's brewing in the world of college basketball as we get ready to get into February? And you can't be slipping in February.
Hey, you got that right. We're headed down the stretch run of college basketball, man. Everything is heating up. And, of course, we in ACC country. So, we're watching those standings. Hey, I feel like the Tar Heels are coming along. Pitt's playing well. Virginia is, they're Virginia. Tony Bennett still got them clicking. And so, man, it's just headed down the stretch run. We're going to see what's going to happen here in the month of February, headed into March Madness. Let's get it. Let's get rocking and rolling and lace those sneakers up tight.
Well, I know this week is a big game in Chapel Hill.
Absolutely.
And that is the Carolina yo boys versus my guys, right? So we're gonna we're gonna put the gloves on and the best team. And guess what? You know what? So we wish the guys from Pittsburgh, they'll be traveling down to the Chapel Hill and get ready to play that game against none other than Coach Quick and the North Carolina Tar Heels. So you know who I'm pulling for. I'm pulling for my Pitt Panthers. And I asked Coach Quick before I said, "You pulling for Carolina?" He said, "Absolutely." Okay, so I thought he might have, kind of stepped away from the dark side and jumped over there. But that's what it's all about. It's about everybody having their teams, chopping it up, enjoying it, but most importantly, understanding what the number one thing is, and that is to turn boys into men, and being able to realize that these guys are college athletes, and that's what it's all about. So with that, Coach Quick, I'll toss it to you for your final comments, and then you know where to take us.
Man, hey, it's just been a pleasure this week to have Coach Jordan on the show. Looking forward to bigger and better things in the coming weeks. So, and now for Coach Goins, our very special guest, Coach Akeem Jordan, former Philadelphia Eagle and Kansas City Chief, as well as the running backs coach at Harrisonburg High School. And for myself, Coach Quick, we'll see you in the locker room.
You have been listening to the GQ Coaches Show with Coaches G and Q, the real talk in sports, on ESPN Radio, 1240 The Boss,